Hi, welcome to this EFT session. This EFT sequence is all about releasing the self-judgment that we women often have for ourselves. We are always beating ourselves up for something, for not doing something well enough, for having an emotion, for having a thought or a feeling. We're constantly telling ourselves that we shouldn't have those thoughts or feelings and judging ourselves for having them. I have had so many conversations with women, and they'll be having a vent about something, or expressing themselves about something, a challenge they might be having, a concern they might be having, and they always say something along the lines of, I know I shouldn't complain. I know I've got it good. I know I should just be grateful. And yes, gratitude is an incredibly powerful thing, and it is something we should all try and practice in our lives, but it is also okay to have emotions. It is okay to express our emotions. It is okay to feel irritated at something, or sad about something, or frustrated at something, or to let out how you're feeling when you're having a challenging time or a frustrating time, or something's getting on top of you, or you're feeling overwhelmed. It is perfectly okay, but I hear so many women judging themselves purely for having emotions, having thoughts, having feelings. And we shouldn't have to. We should be allowed to have those thoughts and feelings. We should be allowed to talk about it when we are having a struggle with something or having difficulty with something. So today I just thought I would do a bit of a sequence on, I guess, a little bit of self-forgiveness and letting go of that judgment of ourselves. So, as always, I suggest having a glass of water with you, also having a notebook and pen in case you want to write down how you're feeling before the session, and if you want to write down an intensity of the emotions you might be having around self-judgment on a scale of 1 to 10 at the start of the session, and then hopefully by the end of it that number has reduced dramatically or is even gone, even at a 0. And I also suggest that if you take a moment to do a scan of your body, and when you think about how you judge yourself and the self-judgment that comes up for you about any given topic or emotion, just write down if that brings up any sensations within your body. Is it a heaviness of the shoulders? Does it give you a headache? Is it a full chest? Whatever sensation it is in your body, there is no right or wrong. Just write that down as well and see if that eases or moves in your body as well during the session. So even though I feel like I haven't done something perfectly, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm judging myself pretty heavily for something I perceive I've done wrong, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm beating myself up and there's something that I feel like makes me less than, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I'm beating myself up. I'm having all these thoughts and emotions, and I feel like I shouldn't have them. I'm feeling guilty or like I'm wrong for the things that I'm thinking and feeling. I'm beating myself up. I'm judging myself. I'm judging myself for my thoughts. I'm judging myself for my feelings. I'm my own worst critic. My inner voice is telling me that I'm doing everything wrong. that I haven't done things well enough, that I shouldn't be feeling and thinking the things I'm thinking and feeling, that feeling frustrated, that feeling angry, that feeling upset, that feeling sad are somehow things I should beat myself up for. And that expressing these emotions to other people is something that is wrong. I'm perceiving myself as a bad person or not as a good woman because I shouldn't be expressing these things. Because I should be grateful for what I have, even if it's challenging. That I shouldn't feel these things because some people have it so much worse. That I'm a bad person for wanting to express how I'm feeling. So I'm judging myself for even having thoughts and feelings, for not being a big enough person to let go of frustration, for not being a big enough person to let go of irritation at other people, for complaining when something is difficult or goes wrong, for being annoyed when other people aren't considerate, and beating myself up for having all of these thoughts and feelings. I am my own worst critic. There's so much judgment here. I'm judging myself for being genuine, for saying out loud how I feel, for having moments of pettiness. I don't believe that I'm entitled to any of these emotions or these thoughts that things are challenging. Because I do know that there are people in the world who have things so much harder than I do. And I worry that I sound bitchy or immature or petty when I express my challenges. And I'm really beating up on myself for doing this exact thing. And I'm just really heavily judging myself. And all of this self-judgment is adding to all of the other emotions that I'm having. And I know I should just get on with things because that's what I've always been told. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't cry over things you can't fix. No point in complaining, no one will listen. I've been conditioned and told my whole life that I shouldn't complain. And now I just feel like such a bad person for expressing myself, for having a vent to my friend, for letting it all out. Just feeling like a bad person, like I'm wrong for doing all of this. But deep down I know that I'm not wrong. I'm not a bad person. I'm just a woman struggling with a challenge in life at the moment. Things have got on top of me. I feel very overwhelmed. I've been disrespected. There's just been one thing after another. And I just feel like I need to express that to let go of it. And so I'm going to choose to release it. I'm going to give myself permission today to forgive myself. To forgive myself for telling myself that I'm a bad or wrong person. I'm going to give myself grace. I'm choosing to be gentle with myself because I don't want to be my own worst critic. I should be my own best cheerleader. I'm going to choose to let go of this judgment of myself. If a friend was venting to me, I would never judge them the way that I'm judging myself. I'm going to choose to remember that I am human and that no matter how good my life is, sometimes there will be challenges. Sometimes I will find things difficult. I will get annoyed. I will feel frustrated. But I'm not going to add to any of that by judging myself any longer. When I have an emotion, I'm going to choose to acknowledge it, sit with it, and then release it. I'm going to forgive myself for judging myself because that judgment, in a way, is what I've been conditioned to my entire life. And I'm not going to take responsibility for lifelong conditioning. I am, however, going to take responsibility for changing it and changing the habit of self-judgment. So I'm going to choose to focus on the things that are good about me and the good person that I am. I'm going to remember all of my good qualities when I'm feeling like this, rather than let my inner bitch dominate. I'm going to choose to release all of this self-judgment because it doesn't serve me. Beating myself up does me no good. Speaking to myself horribly is not useful. And I would never do it to somebody that I love. I would never talk like this to a girlfriend or a sister. I would let them vent. I would let them express themselves. I would let them get what they need to off their chest so that once they've released it, they can move forward in life. And today, that's what I'm choosing to do. I give myself permission to express anything that I need to, in whatever way I need to, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else or myself. So I choose to let go of all this judgment. I choose to release it all from my body. I choose to let go of all that does not serve me. I choose self-love. I choose confidence. I choose to be gentle with myself. I choose to forgive myself for whatever it is that I think I haven't done perfectly. For times I believe that I haven't acted as my highest evolved self could. And I choose to stop judging myself for all of that. I choose to stop judging myself for feeling emotions and expressing emotions and thoughts. I am only human. I choose to stop judging myself, and I give myself permission to do so. Just take a deep breath in with your eyes closed. And with your eyes still closed, just thank yourself for taking the time to do this sequence today, for taking some time for you, for allowing yourself to stop judging yourself and to choose self-love instead of criticism. And I hope that this tapping has helped you release something. I hope it's given you some self-forgiveness and a reminder that you are only human and your emotions and thoughts are perfectly acceptable and perfectly validated. And until we tap again, take care.